are the kinds of digital series that I discovered exist. So let's go in the first one. It's a feature series. The company Black Pills, which didn't work out really well. They produced many series, and they had this format which was 10 times 10. So I call it the feature series format, because it can be a feature film if you put it all together, but it can also be a series, right? Normally, it has to have a high quality, very high quality in production, because it has to look like a feature film. And it has this double packaging, which makes it really useful for distribution, not only in film festivals, but to sell it to platforms. So it has the possible revenue as a feature film. And let's say that a feature film is always still more valuable for producers' eyes. So this can help you get your web series produced. A comedy series. So normally not that high quality as the one before, but this kind of comedy series are normally more spoofy, more fun. You can play around with the content a little bit, and you know, you can get away with a not so good quality of the comedic content. These contents are normally shorter, like per episode, they could have like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and the whole series is normally a bit shorter as well. So not by 10 by 10, which would be 100 minutes, but maybe the whole series is like 5 times 6 or 5 times 8 or something like this. Then there's a sketch series. It's a very reduced way of making a show. These two examples are really nice. When you get this, you can also watch. So you're going to have a lot of homework if you want to go deeper into the web series. But I prefer to speak because you'll get a lot more information. So these sketch series are normally 0 to 3 minutes. So they're really short. They're really low cost. And normally a very simple production with not many actors, like 1, 2, or 3 actors, 1 location, and we're going quickly to the joke, right? These are very good for social media because we can watch it directly, you know, on Instagram, for example. We even got a sketch series submitted that was only like 10 seconds per episode. So that's actually possible, you know? And that would work amazingly on TikTok, actually. So this format also is really interesting. So this one, the Rubia en Apuros, is the 14-second episode one. Also, for example, in Spanish television, they decided, okay, let's do kind of like a web series, but it's gonna look like a TV series. Let's make it look high-end. These ones are like 20 minutes long. For me, it's too long. It's more, the format is the one of a television series and not the one of a web series normally, right? But in this case, well, it's like a very high-end production, very professional. It's long for the web and short for the television, right? And they're in the 2 ones that I am showing here are 2 Spanish ones. One is like a big comedy, and the other one is like a very genre oriented, and all of them have like famous actors from television. So in this case, for me, it's like betting on web series, but with all the people from the television, right? It's like people from television trying to do web series. So they're not the fresh end content that I was mentioning before, right? Not upcoming content talent at all. Anthology series. This is also a characteristic which you could incorporate in a documentary series. So this kind of series is very different episodes because, for example, each episode is one place or done by one author. So it has like something that connects the whole series. but it's still like an anthology series. So each episode is like unique in itself. This one is great for collaborative projects. For example, if you're doing a project with your whole class right now, everyone that is listening, and each of you, well, we choose like a theme. So for example, we choose ecology, and we decide to put something in common, but then each one of us will create a documentary, like one episode with a different touch, right? And this series was done this way. A branded series, the one you see first, is one of our own productions. We did a branded series. Branded basically also can incorporate to any docu-series, because basically it means that you get funding to do the series. And there's basically two ways to do this. You can first come up with a concept and then look for someone that has the same kind of audience, but also you can do the other way around, right? You can be like an agency and then you create the content, which was a little bit the case of the one I have here in the slides. So generally these have to be short, 1 to 3 minutes, because they're not advertisement, but they have to be seen quickly. The good thing is that we integrate the brand in the advertisement, but it's not publicity, okay? We're not gonna look at for example, if I'm selling, for example, makeup, I'm not gonna show the makeup and do anything. It's just part of the story and that's it. And it's a fun, fresh, different way of doing kind of advertising. Then the docu-series, normally this kind of series is like 5 to 10 minute episodes. It's a medium kind of production. It's not like really expensive or high-end or independent. Generally, because of the way we're distributing, it's a way that helps us talk about experimental, different ways of approaching. It can be very artisty kind of look for a series, and there's a lot of this kind of experimental visual things in the docu-series for web, and also talking about some topics that are risky, that are difficult, that maybe are not so difficult, are not so easy to speak in television. And they always have like a very auteur, artist kind of vision. You can also do kind of another one, but I'm generally speaking about them. Also, scripted but non-fiction are web show series. These kind of series are generally like 5 to 10 minutes long, generally with a host that is presenting the show. It can be like reality television, like a TV show style, depending on the show. The two ones that I have here, first one, for example, is about the family that owns like a fish shop, and then we present all the family and each one. So this one would be more like reality television, right? Because we meet the family, we see what each of them thinks. And in the other case, for example, in House Call with Dr. Yvette Lou is a doctor, and she's advising people, for example, how to take care of someone, how to be a caregiver, and she's talking about some topics which are not so big, but big on, for example, television. But you know, like many people are suffering from having to take care of your older ones, and she speaks about how to do it in the best way, and also how to take care of yourself as a caregiver, because it's sometimes really difficult. So if you're at the point of you still don't have the project, please develop it thinking of where you're going to have that content, where you're going to distribute that content. If you already have it, You still have to know your medium, because you still have to know where you can distribute your series. So there's not one way, there's many ways, and there's many platforms, because there's some free platforms, which are, for example, of course, YouTube and all the ones that you already know. There's two that are very big for web series, which are Seeka TV, like Seeka, Seeka TV, and Flixo, which Flixxo. Those two platforms are specialized on web series. So if you go and log in, you can download them on your phone. Those are really good to have a look at, really. Also, really important is to know your audience. When you're producing and when you're just distributing, you have to know who you're talking to, and if you're talking to them in the right tone, in the right format, and in the right tone, right? So if your audience is young people from 20 to 30, you're probably right doing a web series. If you're aiming at the 60+ people, probably not the best format. But overall, the most important thing is to know what to say, to have something to say. I'm sure you have a lot to say, and I hope you say it soon. But yes, the message is really the key to everything.